Now, everybody says electric cars are cheap to run, but is my Model 3 Tesla saving me money? Well, in this video, you're going to find out. So this is a 2024 Model 3 Tesla. Now, it's a standard range model. And we have owned this car for just over a year. And we're going to break down insurance, charging costs, tyre costs, tax costs, everything like that. So first up is charging costs. Now, the cheapest way to charge an electric car is obviously on a home charger. Now, we are on Octopus Go is our electricity tariff we have at the house here. So that gives us cheap rate of electricity between 12:30 at night and 5:30 in the morning. So that rate is 8.5 pence per kilowatt hour. The normal rate is 28 pence a kilowatt hour, and our standing charge is 58 pence a day. So to give you a bit of an idea, this Model 3 Tesla of ours, I've worked out on the mileage done so far and the energy used so far. It averages at 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour used. So you calculate that up, and with our cheap electric rate, just to give you an idea, basically 10,000 miles will cost just under £200 in electricity. Now, just want to quickly mention public charging. Public charging is basically not charging at your house from your own charger. So various locations, there'll be various different types of chargers, and they will vary in speed as well. The best way to look at it probably is the more expensive it is, the faster it's going to be. And to give you an idea of cost, just looking around the northeast, probably the most expensive you will pay is about 90 pence per kilowatt. Now, Tesla has their own charging network called Tesla Superchargers. Now, in and around the northeast, their typical price is about 40 pence a kilowatt. So Tesla obviously subsidize that in some way to get those prices. Now, the other thing I've learned about the Tesla Superchargers is the price actually varies depending on the time of day you use the chargers. Which if you go through the app, it does tell you what the prices are and when they are. So you can get supercharging for as cheap as 24 pence a kilowatt is what I've seen it, but that is kind of in the middle of the night. Now, in all honesty, we don't use public chargers that much because of the range on the car and what typical driving. We don't go that far afield. Kind of 30-40 miles is about as far as we go typically often. We have done a few trips that are a lot further than that, and we have used the public charging network. To be fair, with this car, we tend to have used the Tesla Superchargers, and they've been absolutely fantastic to use. So just to give you an example of a long trip in the car, we went down to the NEC at Birmingham, which is roughly a 500-mile round trip. Now, we charged the car at 100% before we left. We then stopped for our tea on the way down, so the car didn't need charged. But we charged it to 100% because we were there having our tea, so we had the time to, and that cost £15. We then continued on the journey, got to the hotel, stayed overnight, and then went to NEC the next morning. We then set off coming back and just put in the car to come home. It worked out where we needed to stop to charge, so again took it to a Tesla Supercharger on the way back, and that was another £18, which, to be honest, we didn't need to put £18 in because it does tell you how long you need to charge for to get you to your destination. So we let it charge a little bit more, so that was £18. So £15 on the way down, £18 on the way back. Like I say, we did have a full charge before we left, but that was for a 500-mile round trip. Well, we've picked a bit of an awful day to do this filming, but anyhow, that's what you get in December, I suppose. But anyway, next up is insurance. Now, insurance, I think you kind of see in the press, often kind of insinuates that electric cars are bad to insure. Now, I can only give you my opinion and what I'm paying for insurance on our car, because insurance is very kind of person area dependent, I suppose. But obviously we live in the northeast of England, so no idea. I think crime rates and things probably aren't too bad compared to some other parts of the country. I'm nearly 40. Yeah, I think so, nearly 40. Clean license, really good amount of no claims. I think it's about 15 plus years. Actually, my wife is the main driver, but she's a couple of years younger, but same clean license. And, you know, we've got, on this policy, we've got over 15 years no claims bonus. So the excess is a little higher, I think. So the total excess is about £600. Everything else is just kind of usual sort of cover you get, you know, so windscreen cover, key cover, you know, all that sort of thing. So for that, we are paying £497 a year, and we've just renewed that actually a couple of months ago, and I think it's actually come down slightly from last year. So yeah, so £497 for the year for fully comprehensive insurance for 2 people. Now, I haven't really got another similar value car to compare this to, but the only thing I can kind of say is that the T6 Transporter, that obviously I've done videos about in the past, the insurance on it is obviously same people, same address, but I'm the main driver, my wife is the named driver on that policy. Now, we had been paying around about the £500 mark probably consistently for the last few years, but we have managed to get it for about £350 when we've just renewed that more recently. But obviously kind of completely different vehicle. I suppose value wise probably still is a little bit less than what this is, but yeah, so that's the only thing I've really got to kind of compare it to, and that is a little bit cheaper. But like I say, insurance is very person area specific. And just to mention maintenance, well, so far, car's just over a year old, coming up 20,000 mile, and it has cost us £0 for maintenance so far. I'm doing my best to stay out of the rain here, but just wanted to mention, obviously we've got no maintenance costs on the car, but obviously one of the big maintenance costs is tyres. Now, these are the Bridgestone Turanza, I think that's how you pronounce it, and they are 235, 45, 18. Now, these tyres will probably come 7-8 mil from new, something like that. And I've just measured them front and back. Now, the rears are at 4.5 mil and the fronts are at 5.5. So, you know, that's where they are wear-wise, and the car has done 20,000 mile basically. So they're not wearing too bad. Obviously, it is dependent on driving style. But just to give you an idea of cost, I've been online and you can get these exact same tyres supplied and fitted for £155 tyre. So now I just want to talk about tax, basically. So when we bought this car, all electric cars were free, but as of, what we're now, 2025, so it would have been last year, they announced that April this year, electric cars were going to be paying car tax like everybody else. So what we did was, when we got to end of March this year, we taxed it, which was free, so got another 12 months of free tax. But come April next year, or end of March next year, we're going to have to pay the £180 standard tax. Now, with these being under 40 grand list price, they don't have the luxury car tax added on, so it's just a flat £180 per year for the road tax. Now, the other thing that's recently been announced by the government, so good old Rachel is robbing with somewhere else, so they're now apparently going to try and charge electric car drivers 3p per mile travelled as well. Now, I don't think Rachel has any idea how she's going to achieve that, but it is worth mentioning in this video when we're talking about running costs.
We don't know at this stage, is that right?
Well, that's why we've said that this isn't coming in straight away.
So the whole 3p a mile thing, just to give you an idea, if you were doing 10,000 mile a year, is going to cost you £300. Right, so I've rambled on about running costs for quite a while now in this video, so I just want to kind of break down a bit more specifically the electric versus petrol and diesel costs. Now, to be fair, I think looking at it, purchase price of vehicles, if you're looking at a comparable vehicle price, when you get into kind of tyres and tax and things like that, they're probably not going to be too far away. Insurance, like I say, you might pay a little bit more, but we'll just kind of say they're there or thereabouts, to be honest. And the only other one is, I suppose, the maintenance on a internal combustion engine car will vary massively depending on what manufacturer you buy it from. But either way, you're always going to pay more for maintenance on an internal combustion engine car over an electric car. So the big saving with electric obviously is the charging. Now, like I've already said, we charge this kind of probably 98% of the time it is charged over there on the side of the house, and it is on the cheap rate of electric. So that is where you will see the biggest saving if thinking about buying an electric car. Now, I've got some figures and I'll put them on screen now. So basically what I've done is I've just looked at 10,000 miles, us charging at the house here, and then kind of done a comparison against diesel and petrol. So I'll run through. So obviously I'm basing this usage and costs on our car and the efficiency of our electric car, which is averaged out over the course of a year. So basically for for 10,000 miles on electric charging it at home, it is costing us £198 for 10,000 miles. Now, if you look at a diesel and work out 55 miles to gallon, which I think is more than acceptable for a diesel, and £1.45 per litre of diesel, which is about average what we're seeing local at the minute, that 10,000 mile will cost you £1,200 a year. Now, petrol, obviously working on 45 miles to gallon, which I think that's a fair assumption for a petrol car, and working out at £1.35 per litre, that works out at £1,364 a year. So that's where your big saving is. Obviously £200 basically in electric versus £1,200 and £1,364 for diesel and petrol. So that is where your big savings can come. If you're still on the fence about purchasing a Tesla or an electric car, you can go and check out my first year of ownership video on our Tesla, which will be linked in the description down below, and I'll stick it on screen now as well. I hope you've liked this one and consider subscribing to the channel. We will have more Tesla videos coming up in the future, and also we've got old cars, vans, camper vans, that sort of stuff on the channel as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.